Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We'll just wait a few more minutes for more people to join, and then we can get started. Give it one more minute, and then I'll start today's webinar. Okay, I think we can get started now. So, hi everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our sixth product webinar on Artlogic websites and e-commerce, selling art online with confidence. So, for those who have attended our previous webinars, you may recognize me, but for those who are new, my name is Sue Vin, and I'm the Customer Engagement Specialist here at Artlogic. I am also joined by my colleague Stefania, who you will also know from our webinars, and she is our Customer Engagement Team Lead. And Stefania will be answering your questions in the Q&A and dropping some helpful links in the chat throughout this session. Before I go into today's topic, I'm going to quickly go over some housekeeping rules. So this webinar will run for approximately 30 minutes. You can ask questions at any time using the Q&A box below. But don't worry if we don't get to your question. We'll make sure to contact you right after and we'll provide you with a detailed answer. Also, please don't worry if you can't stay till the end of the webinar. We'll be sharing the recording and some helpful links as well after the webinar has ended. So these are the topics that I'll be going through today. So firstly, I'll be going over why should you be selling art online? Then I'll be going through the different steps to setting up an online store successfully. Then I will go over selling on a store page versus selling on an artworks page. And then I'll show you how to track your sales. And then lastly, as always, I will end with tips and best practices. So, why should you sell art online? Well, there are incredible advantages to selling art online depending on your specific goals. So, usually with galleries and artists, they may rely on networking or perhaps foot traffic for sales, but by selling online, you're able to expand your reach. This means you can connect with buyers from all around the world without needing a physical presence in each location. This means selling online will help you increase your revenue because your online presence means that your art is always available. And then in turn, it just means that you're lowering a lot of overhead costs. Lastly, it just opens you up to digital marketing opportunities, especially in this day and age. You can do this via social media, or you can do this with email campaigns. And again, this will just help you track your performance, but also gives you the opportunity to, discover more insights and analytics as well. And this means you can really refine your marketing strategies and curate your business as you go along. So with Artlogic in particular, we really make it easy for galleries, artists, and creative businesses to sell artworks and products online because we have that system that is designed specifically for the art world. So we really provide that seamless e-commerce solution that integrates directly with your management system and your website. And for today's webinar, I'll be guiding you through everything you need to know to start selling products through Artlogic. So this goes from setting up your store, configuring your prices, to managing orders, and just ultimately delivering that professional gallery quality shopping experience. So before we actually look into the different steps to setting up an online store, I'm first going to show you 4 areas that you need to configure first in your management system before you start selling online. So again, as always, please excuse me as my head turns to my left because I will be looking at my screen. So I'm just now going to move and go into my second screen here and share my management system. So here I am on my management system, and I'll be showing you the first area that you need to configure. What you want to do is navigate to Other at the top here, Admin, Preferences, then Core Preferences. Under the General tab, you want to scroll down, and then you have a section for availabilities. Now in the box here, it says Available for Online Store. This is really important that you're configuring the correct availabilities here, because if you don't, those availabilities will not show in your online store. And then in turn, you might think that some of those artworks or those products are missing. So please make sure that you're going into the back end here and checking the availabilities that suit your preferences. Now, once you have checked and all your availabilities are correct, please do remember to click save. And I will be repeating myself, I will be telling you to click save throughout. I know it's very simple, but sometimes you do forget as well. The second area is you want to go into your artwork. So at the top here, go to your main artworks list and you want to open up an artwork record. Then you want to navigate to the financial tab and then go to the retail price and tax section. Here you want to make sure that you have the right tax configured, but also you have a retail price entered. Next to your financial tab, you've got your location and shipping. As we scroll down and we go to the packing section here, this is where you want to make sure there is a shipping weight so you know what to charge based on the weight as well. And then lastly, you want to navigate to the website tab. And here, firstly, you want to make sure that you're sending the artwork to the website so that it's visible. And then you have other settings that you might want to configure here. So number one, if you're selling in your store section, you want to make sure that you're checking the box that says show in store section. You also want to make available to the website. You also want to show price on the website when the work is available. And the most important part here is you have the buy now purchase button enabled. Once you have configured the settings in the website section and the other sections that I've just shown, then you're ready to go. But again, please remember to click save. Now, once we've configured those 4 areas, this means that we can go to the online sales section in the CMS and start working through the different steps that we need to configure here. Another thing to note as well, you might want to also configure all those 4 areas for all your artwork inventory, but also for specific artworks inventory. That's completely up to you as well. So now I'm going to navigate to the CMS. And what you want to do is navigate to online sales here at the top. Now here you have everything that you need to set up your online store successfully. So on the left-hand side, you have all the different products and items that you can sell. So you've got your artworks, you've got publications, etc. And then on the left-hand side in the gray box, we provide you with a checklist. So here you can see I have everything configured in my checklist, which is indicated with all the green dots. But let's say you have some steps that you haven't completed yet, then you will see a red dot. So please do go into the checklist and make sure that you're completing all of those different items there. On the left-hand side again, you have all the different settings that you need to configure so that you're setting up your online store successfully. As you can see, I've configured them correctly, and then you can see a sea of green here because I've completed everything here. So everything is complete. Now for this webinar, I'll be going through all of these different settings so that you know how you can set all of these different areas up correctly so that you can start selling online. So firstly, let's go into payment settings. So with payment settings, the first thing you want to do is to ensure that you connect your Stripe account so that you can process payments from your customers globally. So once I click connect or continue with Stripe, what that will do is open up a new tab or perhaps a new window for you. And what you want to do is then follow the different steps to connect your Stripe account successfully. Now, the important thing to note here is that Stripe is a very secure service, but it's also a very fast service for customers to buy your artworks or other products on your store as well. You also have the ability to enable Apple Pay. To be able to do this, you need to connect your Stripe account. But if you want to learn more about Apple Pay, Stefania will be linking an article to this down below. So please do have a read on how to do that as well. Now, as we scroll down as well, we have additional measures of security that links to money laundering protection. So here I have a threshold of 10,000, but this is entirely up to you what you want to add in here. And you can also customize the message for, let's say, when it does exceed that threshold as well. So please do have a look and configure this settings to suit your preferences too. And once you are happy with all your payment settings, please do remember to click Save. Now we can move to tax. Okay, perfect. So if you have an integrated system with us, your tax rates are set within your artwork records. So if you have an integrated Artlogic management system, the tax that displays at checkout will come directly, that will come directly from the financial tab of the artwork records in the management system. So if I go back to all here and open up the artwork record and go into the financial tab, you'll find that in the retail price and tax section here. If we just go back as well. However, for a standalone website, I'm just going to now go into my standalone and we go to online sales here, and then we go to tax settings. So for a standalone website, you can either set a base tax rate for all items or individual rates for your other items, such as your publications or products. But also your artwork records can either inherit that base tax rate, or you can set a custom tax rate for your individual works in the artwork record editor. To do this, you want to go to your records, then artworks, then all artworks, and then you want to click into one of the artworks. And then as you scroll down and we go to tax rate, here you have the ability to toggle on customize tax rate. And here, just as an example, you can add in your custom tax rate and then you can click save. So those are the two ways. And just to reiterate, this is for the standalone website. Now in tax settings, as we scroll down, you can either choose to show prices inclusive or exclusive of tax. You have the ability to customize your tax label. You also have the ability to customize the message when the tax is included or excluded in the price as well. And then also you can round the tax per item. This is all entirely up to you and what your preferences are. If you are based in the US or Canada, you can choose to enable automatic US or Canada tax rates using TaxJar. To learn more about the TaxJar integration, please visit our support website or click on the link that Stefania has dropped in the chat below, and you can learn more about that integration in more detail. And once again, when you're happy with all of this, please click Save. Now, just as an example here, once you have configured the tax, this is what it should look like. So if I have added an artwork into my checkout, here you can see that the tax rate has been configured, and this is how it will show to your buyers. Now, going back to my CMS, we can then navigate to currency. Currency settings does exactly what it says on the tin. This is where you want to ensure that the primary currency in the store matches the currency of your items. You also have the ability to give customers the option to purchase in other currencies as well. If you want to give your customers that option, just toggle this on. And then at the moment, I'm offering additional currencies in US dollars and Japanese yen. Perhaps I want to also offer it in euros. Again, that's entirely up to you. And then you can also add that conversion fee and click save. One thing to note here is that the additional currency is calculated independently within the CMS and it is not linked with the management system. So please do remember that when you are offering additional currencies. Now we can move on to shipping settings, which I would say is a big bulk when you're setting up your online store. So here you can see we have shipping zones. Inside each zone, you create a shipping method, and within those methods, you create rates. So the rates are the prices that you set for each of those shipping methods. You can either charge a flat rate for any weight, or you can create multiple rates and charge different amounts depending on the weight. So this is where you want to choose a strategy that suits you and your customers, and this is something that you can refine as you go along. For this webinar, I thought we could create a shipping zone together and follow those steps as well. So to create a new shipping zone, all you need to do is click New Shipping Zone. Here I will label this as Europe. I can choose if I want to enable or disable tax. Again, that is completely up to you. I also have the option to choose a zone preset. So when I select a zone preset, the system automatically selects relevant countries. And then I can then go in and perhaps deselect some countries I may not want. However, if I don't want to have a zone preset, I can then just go in and choose the countries that's applicable to me as well. So again, whatever tickles your fancy, you go in and then choose the countries that you want to. Afterwards, and after you're happy with that, please click Save. Once we come out of the window, you can see that I've created my shipping zone. Now I'm ready to create the shipping method. Click the drop-down menu here, and then click New Shipping Method. I'm going to name this shipping method as courier. I've got my applicable zones, and then I have the choice to either apply this to all my products, or I can also limit this by product type. So if I toggle this on, I can limit this to artworks and products, for example. I've got my tax on, and then click Save again. By clicking Save, I've now enabled the area where I can add in my rates. So here, I'm going to add a weight of 0 to 400 grams. Please note that the metric here used is in grams. And then I'm going to put the price of £15. So this is my rate that is set. Now, in order to set accurate weight ranges, as an integrated user, you can refer to an artwork's weight in the location and shipping tab under the packing section, which I showed you previously. But to refresh your memory, I'll just go back to it and show you again. So if we navigate to location and shipping, and then we go to packing, you can see you've got the weights available here for you to look at. However, if you're a standalone user, you can view this information in the artwork record editor. So if I navigate to my standalone website here, and then I scroll down in the artwork editor, and we go to dimensions, here you can see all your weights specified as well. So those are the two ways to make sure that you are setting your weight ranges accurately. Another thing to note is if you have entered a flat shipping price and the weight is not specified, the system will automatically default the weight to 200 grams. Just to be on the safe side, I will click Save again. You can also give your customers the option to arrange shipping after purchase. Now, to do that, all you need to do is create a new shipping method. I will name this shipping after purchase. Everything I'm just going to keep the same, and then I will click Save. As we scroll down, this is where I can set my weight and my price as well. So to actually create the shipping or arrange shipping after purchase, you want to make sure that it starts at 0 grams with no maximum weight and no price applied. Once you've done that, just click Save. And what that will do is save that as shipping after purchase, and it will give that option to your customers to use if they wanted to do that after they've purchased your artwork or other products as well. As we scroll down, we also have additional shipping settings. You can also enable shipping by Canadian province or US state, and then we can add in additional measures of security. So here you can either specify whether you want the shipping and billing address to match, or perhaps they don't need to match. And secondly, you can also choose whether to calculate shipping for items individually, or you want to base that on the combined weight of all items. Now, once you've configured all your shipping settings, you want to click Save again. Lastly, we can move on to notification settings. Again, very simple, does what it says on the tin. This is where you can set up an email to where you want the notifications to come through to and from. And furthermore, as you scroll down, you can even customize the message that gets sent to your customers after the purchase has been completed. Where it says to send to and you have the email field here, it is very, very important that you're setting an accurate email address for new orders, because if you do not have an email address entered here, the system will automatically send those to notifications@artlogic.net, which again, you don't want because that means you're missing those notifications. So please do make sure that you're completing that field and adding an accurate email address here. So I will navigate back to online sales. And this is what it should look like once you have configured all of those settings successfully, and you should see a sea of green on your screen. Now, this is the right time to probably process a test transaction just to make sure that everything is correct and everything can be running smoothly. So if you look at the yellow box here, I am in test mode. This means then I can go in, add something to my basket, and then just complete those steps and make sure I can just carry out that test transaction to know that everything can be up and running smoothly. Let's say something is wrong and you wanted to amend a certain area and you wanted to then take your store offline, you also have that ability. So if you click the drop-down menu, click offline, that will take your store offline so nothing is shown to any potential buyers. But if everything's ready and everything's ready to go, click live, and that will take your store to being live, and basically everything is shown to potential buyers and everything is ready to go. One last thing to note is about security certificates. This will automatically attach when your website goes live, and this icon will turn green for you. So now we've set up everything that we need to set up your online store so that it can go be running smoothly. And now I can move on to selling on a store page versus just selling on an artworks page. So firstly, let's tackle selling on a store page. So as an example, let's say you might want to sell various prints, and for this reason, you want that dedicated store page. The first thing that you need to make sure is that your store page is enabled on your website. How do you do this? So what you want to do is navigate to pages at the top, scroll down, and then here you can see we've got my store page here. At the moment, it's not showing. So to be able to get this to show, click the pencil edit icon. And then on the left-hand side, enable it on the website. And then in the navigation, show on navigation, click done, then click save. And that will show my store page on my website. The second thing to note here is that I'm going to now go back to the management system and click on a particular artwork record here. And we're just going to go to the website tab as well. As I showed you at the beginning, you need to make sure the right settings are configured, such as you're showing it in your store section, you're making it available to the website, you wanted to show the price on the website when the work is available, and then also you have the buy now purchase button available as well. And because I've used the case study of perhaps you're selling various prints and editions, I've chosen here an edition data record. Now, the great thing here is that the system offers you more control. So at the moment, I have the buy now purchase button for all eligible edition records. But there might be a case where you just want to select a few edition records that you want to sell on your store. If you want to do that, click the buy now purchase for selected edition records and then select edition records here. And here I've got the full control of selecting the edition records that I particularly want to sell. Click save. and that will save that for me. And then again, once those edition records are sold on my store, this will then be marked as sold in the management system as well. If you are deciding to launch a new print, just as an example, we really recommend that you follow the guidelines in the article that Stefania has shared right now. This is really to make sure that we're preparing your website appropriately, because we want you to get the traffic that you deserve. And also we just want to make the overall launch a success. So please do have a good read of those guidelines in the article linked down below. Anything to do with your store in terms of the store settings, this can be controlled by navigating to settings at the top, settings again, and then under sections, clicking store. So this is where you can choose what you want. So in terms of, you can enable a store landing page. You can also enable artwork category filters, meaning you can have better organization. And then as you scroll down as well, you have a store grid. So this is about the formatting. How do you want your store to look like? How can you make it visually appealing? This is, again, for you to play around with. And then once you're happy with those settings, please remember to click save. Oh, has that saved? Yes, perfect. So I'm just going to show you a real life example here. We have 8 Holland Street. As you can see, they've got their dedicated store page here. All their categories are enabled. And if we click into one, and then we click into one of the artworks, you can see that they've got the add to cart button ready to go, and customers can buy that particular artwork. Now, that's just an example of selling on a dedicated store page. On the other side of the coin, perhaps you just want to use your website to showcase a portfolio. Perhaps the sales might happen elsewhere, but you still want the ability to showcase that portfolio and still give the ability to your potential buyers to buy, certain artworks or products as well. So the number one thing you need to check is by going to pages again and making sure that the store page is disabled. So at the moment it's enabled, so click the pencil edit icon, disable it from the website, and also disable it from the navigation. And then click save, and what that will do is take that store page away from your website. Now, what you can do is then showcase your portfolio via the artworks page, and the great way to show this is via a real life example. We have Philip Mettler here, and as you can see, they don't have a store page. They can show their portfolio of their paintings right here. Really impressive. And once I click into one, they have the buy now button, add to cart, still giving that, ability to purchase some of their paintings to their potential buyers as well. So again, it's about what do you want to use your website for? What do you want to, showcase? And this is why it's important to know what your goals are when you are selling online as well. Another important part to selling online, and sounds very obvious, is knowing how to track your sales. So you can track your sales very easily in the CMS. So here you can see on the left-hand side, we have completed orders, incomplete orders, and test orders. So if I just click into test orders for today, I'm just going to show you the various, details that you can see here, such as your order number, when the order was placed, the customer name, order total, all these different bits of information that might be important to you in terms of tracking your sales. If you do have an integrated system with us as well, you can also track the progress of your sales by going into your management system itself, and then navigating to artworks at the top, views, and then here you can see online sales, unprocessed, and then online sales processed. Unprocessed means that the inventory has been sold, but the invoice has not been generated yet. So if I click into this, we can see that this artwork is unprocessed currently. So to make sure that this artwork is then moved to processed, in the preview pane on the right-hand side, navigate to online sale, and then click create invoice, and then follow these steps to create and generate that invoice so that we can then move this artwork from unprocessed to processed. And again, you're better organizing your sales, but also this is really, really important to track accuracy as well. So before I conclude the webinar, as always, I always like to end with some tips and best practices. So I'm just going to go over to my slides so that I can show you the tips and best practices that you can take away from today's session. So firstly, please ensure that your artworks have a retail price and a shipping weight specified. Also, when you're selling online, please ensure to thoroughly go through the website tab of the artwork record. Ensure you have the right options selected so you can sell inventory successfully as well. Because sometimes if you do find something that's missing, it might be because the right settings hasn't been configured. Also, you want to define your goals and objectives. Is it about increasing sales? Is it about entering a new market? Perhaps you just want to build an artist profile. These are all the things you want to think about before you're selling online. You also want to identify your customer base. Now, this is something that you will probably refine as you go along, because then the more sales you do make, then you'll understand what type of art most people might be interested in, and that's how you identify the customers that you are selling to. The second to last point sounds very obvious, but investing in the design of your website is crucial because it's all about telling a story. But most importantly, you want it all to align with the brand that you're trying to portray. And lastly, continuously monitor the performance of your store. Sounds obvious, but you're opening yourself up to new digital marketing opportunities. You're actually opening yourself up to new insights. And also within the CMS, and if you're an integrated user, you have the ability to track sales again, so that you're able to make sure that your sales are successful and you're making your actual business successful as well. So this concludes today's webinar. And as always, I'm going to end with a few final notes. If you do need any further assistance, visit the Artlogic Help Center. We have a wealth of resources, and all the links we have shared in today's webinar will be included in the slides, and we'll be sending them right after, so don't worry if you've not noted them down. We also encourage you to explore the areas that I've demonstrated today. And also, if you're ever in need of more training, please contact the support team for more personalized sessions, or visit the help note that Stefania has linked in the chat to explore what training options we have available. And of course, if you have enjoyed today's webinar, please make sure to sign up to our future ones. And you can also watch our previous webinars too if you just need that refresh of memory. And alternatively, you can also check the full schedule at this link, which will be dropping in the chat. So thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope this session has been helpful, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Have a lovely day, everyone.